Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Natalie here. So this is a VR to Liz from West Star Tarot, and to the original creator whose name and channel completely escapes me. Wow, I sat down and I thought, okay, I think I've got all the information together, only to realize I don't have that. So I'll either have it at the bottom of the screen here, or it'll be in the description box, one or the other. I just really wanted to hop on this one because it just seems like so much fun, and because I'm like really in the mood for that kind of a video or that kind of a VR. So the VR is about your 10 prettiest decks. Not the ones that you love the most, not the ones that are the most, I don't know, where the artwork is the best necessarily, but the ones that are just prettiest. And I don't know why that appeals to me, but for the moment it just does. So here we are. I need something fun and lighthearted, and so this really fits the bill. So at the moment, there were a lot of contenders in my collection, and there are even a few decks I realize now in my collection that I acquired simply because they're pretty. Like, no other real reason, just like, hey, this will be a pretty deck to work with, and it's visually appealing. The first one, however, is not that. The first one is the Tulku Oracle, and again, I forget the creator's name. It'll all be in the box below, but these are the backs, the backings. They're so pretty. They're not fully reversible, except they are intended to be reversed. She's written that into the guidebook. So we've got all of the different, so there's Lilith. What I love about this one is how, which I know this camera's not picking up on because I decided to do a face-on video with my laptop, which is comparatively, you know, compared to my cell phone right now, is a bit like filming on a potato. But yeah, the color saturation, which again, I know is not being picked up as beautifully by this camera as it would be on, you know, by the camera on my phone, is just so gorgeous. Oh, it's so pretty. And every time I use it, I marvel at just how gorgeous the images are. The medicine Buddha in this one is just, it makes me so happy every time I look at it. And this is a very deep oracle deck too. This isn't one necessarily where I always feel like I want to draw more than one card, because you get one card and there's so many pages worth of good stuff that you can look at that, you know, there's really no need. I'm skipping through these. There's really no need to, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. There's really no, you don't need more than one card. It's so deep. So yeah, it's kind of where I work with it. And yeah, I'm skipping in chunks and chunks of cards here because, you know, it's too much. I don't know if it's still available in her shop or not. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'll have all of that information for you at the bottom of the video in the box. But it's also that, like, I still like this cardstock. I really do. It is the, what's it called? The rose petal or the brushed plastic cardstock. And it has copper, kind of glittery. It's matte, but slightly glittery. It does not come off on your hands at all. What is that called? It's a card, it's not, anyway, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's copper. It's kind of a coppery bronze color, and I just love it. One of, honestly, the prettiest decks I've ever had. So yeah, it's gorgeous. Okay, so that's number one. We'll put it up here because it'll go back to its little spot. Number two is a deck whose name I had forgotten even. I haven't used it for a long time. Oh, it's the Messenger cards. The Messenger cards, Guidance from the Animal Spirits by Sandra Kunz. I haven't used this one in a hot minute, and when I saw this prompt, I started to wonder why. These are the backings, I did edge them myself with a copper colored edging, which I have no regrets about. It was perfect. But the artwork in this deck, again, is not being done justice even in the slightest by this camera. It's absolutely exquisite and so pretty. And the meanings for the cards are equally beautiful and full of depth. There are some repeated creatures in here because I think it's I reckon it's a deck that she did where she collated imagery that she already had, you know, that had already been created. It's like there's another butterfly. There are no keywords. That is really probably the greatest weakness of the deck. But the artwork is so pretty. It's so, so pretty. And I feel like we're not even getting some of the prettiest images in here. Oh, there's one of them. Yeah, it's just got, oh, there's another one. It's slightly glossy, which, you know, is, again, the potato camera on this laptop is not doing it justice, but it is, the glossiness actually does help with making the artwork more beautiful in person. Dragonfly. Oof. Yeah, there's another really pretty one. The magpie otter. I think she's from the Northwest. I love this buffalo. And there's the one that's actually the same as the back of the cards. Yeah, this one is so pretty. I had it with another card for a spread for something that I put on Instagram, and when I used to go read at a shop that's no longer open, or cafe, they used that one all the time in their promo because the artwork was so pretty. Yeah, so anyway, I know she used to have this one available on Etsy. I'm not sure if she still does, but suffice it to say, I completely love her work, and it is just so pretty. Okay, so that, and again, these are in no particular order. They're just like, hey, these are I think the winners of the prettiest decks in my collection. I think there were a few, again, like where number 10 is going to be a tough one because I've got several contenders, and it's so hot here right now that I know I'm oozing. I'm oozing. Okay, this next one for me is just kind of a no-brainer, and it's again part of why I purchased it in the first place. It's the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, and it's just pretty. What else can you say? It's just a super pretty deck. It is not a deep deck, which is it's not gotten a huge amount of use this summer because right now, it just hasn't been the deck I've felt called to read with for myself. And I haven't been doing as many client readings at all, except ones where I can do them comfortably as I feel able to. So the live ones have all gone on hold, but that's what it's mostly been coming in handy for. But it makes me smile every time I read with it because it is so pretty. The backs are a big part of the pretty for me. I love the backs. I love the gilding. It is a matte gold color gilding, like a light gold. And yeah, everything about the deck is basically just pretty. The artwork is pretty. The mermaids are pretty. You know, it's just gorgeous. So yeah, one of my favorites because of that. I mean, it's feminine. I think something about the femininity of this deck like resonates with the term pretty. You know, there's everything about it that makes it a really, really pretty deck. Yeah. And I have a full walkthrough of the deck available. That's the prettiest 10 of Wands I've ever seen. It's the most glamorous too. It's so hard to be pretty. But yeah, so that's one of my prettiest decks. I think there's all kinds of ways of defining a pretty deck, don't you? I mean, really, like there can be so many things about a deck that make it pretty. The next one I think is kind of a no-brainer. It is the Cosmo Visions by James R. Eads. And folks, come on, like even this, and I won't be able to do this deck justice because of potato camera, but that actually sparkles, which you can't really tell because it's not really picking it up. Okay, this deck, I mean, everything about this deck. Check out that gilding. It's like a holographic black or something, I think, or blue. I mean, it's dark. And then we get the backs, which are this gorgeous rainbowy color on green. And then, I mean, come on, look at this. And I could have chosen the Prisma Visions as well as the Cosmo Visions. Oh, I forgot, these are in order because I've been studying it. I haven't really been reading with it yet. I've just been reading about it and flipping through it. So that's what we're getting here. And I did do a walkthrough of this one very recently. I've done walkthroughs of all of these decks, I think. So I may link those as well. Maze. I mean, I'm going to skip through to the minors. And there we go. So you can really see how beautiful this is. And they're panoramic. There we go. Get all the lotuses. Anyhow, look at that. Yeah, it just totally fits the category of a pretty deck. It's also a deep deck. Look at that. So you get these, the quartz are the geomancy figures as well. Oh, I guess I've shuffled some of this. I must have. Just not the main ones. Anyhow. So yeah, that's the Cosmo Visions. Definitely a very, very pretty deck. Another very pretty deck that definitely has to be on the list, I feel like, is the Dream Dust Shamanic Tarot. I just did a reading with this morning, and it was as beautiful as it always is. It's got a linen finish box, embossed with gold. The guidebook is by Sue Sparrow Bellamy, by the way. But the guidebook is the like rose petal brush plastic finish. The edging is holographic gold, which really, again, on Potato Cam is not showing up the way I intended. But it's just so pretty, and it is an abstract deck, and it just I can't get enough of it right now. Yeah, and she uses the elements instead of the symbols. So it's like, instead of cups, it's sea. Some of the majors have been changed. So initiation instead of death. Again, it's, from a more shamanic perspective. Oh, there we are, perspective. That's the hanged one or hanged man. Sea star. Yeah. So it is, it's very user-friendly on every possible perspective. I mean, if you are familiar with Rider-Waite-Smith, you're going to get along very well with this one, because that's essentially where it's rooted. Yeah, let's see. Let's flip through a little more. I did an unboxing and flip through of this one as well. It's just so gorgeous. I had this one this morning, the sun. Oh, I had that one this morning too. Justice. Yeah, see Shaman back there. I meant to get that front one. There we go. The tower. Yeah, so anyway, it's just gorgeous. It's so pretty. And it smells very strong, but in a good way. And there's the backs. Yeah, and I just love this deck. I think pretty much there's nothing about it that I don't love at this point. It's one I wanted for a long, long time, and when I finally got a hold of it, was very glad. So the next one, I have not actually, let's see, well, the next one, we'll do this one. This is Robert and Place's Tarot of the Sevenfold Mystery 2nd edition. And it's a linen box, again, that pulls out. And it's gorgeous. Always has a little white book. We've got this very sparkly gilding, which actually is not too bad on Potato Cam. Here are the backings, so not really reversible without you knowing that you're getting a reversed card as you put it down. And then I don't know, it's just the line work and the shading and the kind of roundness and fatness of the detail. Whoops. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, the detail is just so exquisite. It's got that sort of old world, classical, antiquity, medieval-ish, Renaissance-ish feel to it, which sometimes in past I have really wrestled with, and lately have become very intrigued with. Yeah. And just the lines, the femininity in the female, the fruit and the gold in there. Yeah. I mean, even the way he's drawn the beggar is so, it's just so pretty. Yeah. 10 of Wands as the Phoenix. Yeah. The star. Yeah. Just, and again, I mean, he's chosen elegant animals to accompany that lion, right? So a greyhound who's got very sleek lines, right? And a Siamese cat. The movement and gesture in this deck has been captured with such specificity, and yeah, it's just beautiful. And of all of my Robert and Place decks that I have, I feel like it's really the prettiest one. Yeah, that moon card. God, I love this moon card. Yeah. I mean, and it was really a tie between, I love this one too, the Fortuna card, the Wheel of Fortune. I really contemplated between this one and one of the alchemical decks, but really this one I think more so than those for some reason. I can't name it. I don't know why. Yeah. So that's this one. Again, I have like a full walkthrough of it. Oh, love that. Death. Yeah. Full walkthrough of it is available on my channel, and it probably was from the unboxing. So there's that one. The next one is a rune deck that I have not used in a very long time because when I packed up a bunch of my runes, I did not think in terms of, I don't know, I just wasn't thinking, but it now makes me want to use this deck again, so that's a good thing. So it's the, oops, here we go. This spells map in runes, and it is the Telluric Runes by Lunaria Gold. I don't even know if this one is still available. There are so few of them because there aren't that many runes that when you open there's no guidebook, and when you open the box, like, there's plenty of extra room in here. But that said, all of a no gilding, but the artwork is some of the prettiest I've ever seen for a rune deck. She also does, I think she did a Telluric tarot. I know she did Telluric, like Phoenician letters at one point. But, you know, each of the cards has a plant and a gemstone associated with the rune. And I just feel like it's so beautifully done. I still see that in my mind actually now when I encounter with a Wunyo rune when I'm out. Because the Wunyo, with that watermelon, it's stuck in my head. The watermelon, tourmaline, and the strawberry. Yeah. I just realized I have a fan on in the background because of the heat. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning and it's already 98 degrees outside. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweating in here, even with the fan and the AC blowing into the room. Hopefully I can fix that in the, editing. All right, the next one is just a no-brainer for me. And it's maybe an odd choice for some, but I don't know. I don't think it is. It's the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle. And what is her name? I always forget her name. It's hard to read on here, but it's by the Embroidered Forest. It's not on the cover. It's just so pretty. Like the box, look at that. With the copper foil and the lettering, you just can't beat it. And on the bottom, it's this one of the best, prettiest decks I've ever had by far. The backings are like the whole thing is that like really matte, has that nice well, we can shuffle it. Can we shuffle it? It's not in any order, is it? No. Absolute protection and goodbye. Okay. No, we can shuffle it. It's this. And I don't know if it's going to be the same in her next deck or not. I know she just did a Kickstarter, but it's got really beautiful gilding and it doesn't come off on your hands at all. It's kind of coppery colored that matches everything. And then every single card has this the same kind of like foil shininess on it. Again, I'm hoping this comes across and I don't end up refilming it, but Mercury just went into retrograde, so we'll find out, won't we? It is very kind of, it feels a little autumnal or like sort of Samhain, and again, these are not going to do me any justice at all in terms of the beauty of these cards, but every single one was hand embroidered. I mean, so pretty. You know, I just, oh. And I think she sold all of the original artwork. So I hope she's got enough images saved in various places to keep playing with it if she wants to. They're numbered. It's just exquisite. And I love needlework. I don't tend to do things that are this detailed, but she sure does inspire me to think about doing that and contemplating what that might be like, because it's just so well done. Some of them have been digitally manipulated in really helpful, intelligent ways. Yeah. And in the ways that, I mean, this one just surpasses the beauty even of the Embroidered Graveyard Tarot, or the Embroidered Forest Tarot, which is also very pretty, but not as pretty as this. Yeah. So, oh, we're getting weird lighting. Here we go. Decadence. Look at that. Yeah. God, that's good. So beautiful. Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, easily one of my favorite ever. Oh, there's the goodbye card. We always leave that one, and or the absolute protection card out when you work with it. The book is beautiful as well. I mean, it's just, there's nothing not to love about this deck. So let's see. I'm gonna just go with my original thought for this, and then I'll say who my runners up were. My original thought for this one, for number 10, or like, you know, for the 10th spot, was and is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. This is the deck that I have right now. There's the guidebook. This is a US Games by Terri Foss. It was a this was a it's a two-part box. Sorry, I should have said that. It was a an independent deck. That's what I wanted to say. An independent deck, and US Games picked it up. It is not so much of a deep deck as it is just a pretty one. And I think I will probably enjoy working with it this fall because of that. And I think I'll probably also wind up just creating my own meanings and interpretations for each of these. Sometimes the names don't always make sense to me that she chose, but her artwork is so enchanting that it really just makes me smile to sit and look at it. I haven't really tried pairing it with anything yet. I would imagine as we get closer to the autumn, that's going to be kind of a natural progression there. Yeah, this one just makes me laugh because that's the most hopeless looking face I've ever seen. Yeah. Purposeful. Let's see, what was this one falling off the back? Oh yeah, one of the prettiest. Evolve. Yep. Yeah, her artwork is just stunning. It's pretty. I mean, it's just genuinely pretty. Look at that. That's pretty. So pretty. Yeah. There we go. So again, another full walkthrough available on my channel elsewhere. And then where am I going from here? Runners up. First runner up. Perhaps I should have chosen it. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard because I feel like this is actually, this one's actually a very deep deck. And I don't keep it just because it's pretty. I keep it because I love the author and I love the deck. It is the EarthCraft Oracle by Juliet Diaz and Lorraine Anderson, right? Who with artwork by Danielle Boudou-Fortuné, and it is exquisite. Two-part box. Who's Hay House? Hay House did this one. The book, you know, again, it's a smallish guidebook, but you can't go wrong with these two authors. You just can't. And I feel like the artwork in this one is extremely pretty. I think it's really underrated in comparison to their other decks. I know their other decks, you know, they have the Mabon Oracle and the Samhain Oracle, which I also have. Beltane Oracle, Yule Oracle, but you know, they're gorgeous, but there's something about this one, I feel like I just love this artist. And I love her, I think, yeah, it's Danielle. I think she's a she. I feel like the artwork in this deck is so, I love the line work. I love the use of color. And I love her aesthetic. I think it's deeper than just being pretty, but it is extremely pretty. I guess I could say that about all of them, right? Like, ultimately. But yeah, it's just pretty. Yeah. I can't remember if I have a walkthrough of this one or not. I think I do. It's just been a while since I got it. And it made me want to get everything by Juliette Diaz that I could get my hands on. Although the decks I feel less, you know, but her books, guys, if you're not familiar with Juliette Diaz's books, like, yeah, I did film I attempted filming. I'm not going to put it out. I'm going to refilm it. A review of one of her books that I carried around with me nonstop for a long time last summer. So here's another runner-up. I've done it definitely. I did two videos of this one. It's the Midnight Magic Tarot, Mushroom Tarot. This deck is just so pretty. I love it. It still smells so good. It really makes me continue to look at and appreciate and notice mushrooms everywhere I go. And lately we've had a lot of them. I feel like this is a sort of like spring through late autumn because we still get mushrooms here even that late. It is so pretty. The artwork is just, I mean, it's like looking at a science, you know, the field guide science books. And it's just done so well. But it's artwork you can divine from. And it's definitely got overlaps. I mean, this is the world, you know, right? You can see she's borrowed from the RWS to make it as accessible as possible. Lots of good keywords. The book is really good. Some of her choices are not as easy to understand, but I found that there's relatively few cards in here where that's the case. Yeah, and it's just extremely pretty. Even when she's working with kind of an ugly mushroom or an ugly concept, she's found a way to make it really pretty. Right? Yeah. It's just so lovely. Okay. And oh, I didn't show the backs, I think. Did I not show the backs? Backs. There we go. Yeah. I know a lot of people got this one when it first came out, and there were a lot of people who were like really meh about the whole thing. I guess each to their own. I love this deck. I have loved working with it. It's stunning. I have, yeah, a couple of really fun videos when I first unboxed it and was getting to know it, and I just fell in love with it. So, and my final one is going to be, I don't even think I've gotten my walkthroughs of this one out yet, or maybe I will by the time I put this one out, but it's the Tarot de Carlotitis, and it's the Fournier version of it. So I think it's probably not as lush, although look at the inside of that box. I mean, for Fournier, it's just, they made it really pretty. And it is a very, very, very pretty deck indeed. So it's got these backs that are so pretty. And then I feel like the artwork is also just really pretty. There's also a lot of really intelligent commentary and stuff in here that's not just pretty. It goes definitely way deeper and beyond that. And it's just a really pretty deck. I mean, you got to admit it. I just love it. But I'm not keeping, I mean, most of these are not decks. I think the only one that I really kind of keep because it's pretty or work with, Dame Darcy I got that one because it's pretty, and I got Earthly Souls and Spirits because it's pretty. And I love working with the Dame Darcy. That's not going to change. Although I may or may not continue to keep Earthly Souls and Spirits after this season. I don't know. Don't know. But isn't that beautiful? It's so pretty. It's not beautiful. It's pretty. It's just pretty. So these were my like runner-up decks. Yeah. I mean, it's a very pretty devil, right? Yeah, it's just a pretty deck. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my walkthrough of my prettiest decks. And let's see, having some struggles getting this one to cooperate. It does not want to go back in the box. I've been taking this one with me to work and carrying it in my purse and then pulling it out at work and playing with it. So I'm sure it's like, why aren't you playing with me more right now? And I'm sorry, we will later. It's just, yeah, I have enjoyed with, you know, it's not, I know no regrets about this one. It's just really pretty. All right, and it's a great reader. All right, friends, so those are my pretty decks. I hope that was enjoyable for you, or as enjoyable for you as it was for me, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye.